Hello everybody, it's the 14th of June and this is the beginnings of a timey-wimey video. It's not what I hoped it would be, in that I had footage of this from when I did some work on it in the winter and following it through early spring, etc. And then that's part of the footage that I lost when I had a computer issue, so starting it again from later on in the season. Just wanting at this point to trim back some of these large growths that have sprouted again from a earlier pruning back to an outline of this 5-tree group planting. So I see these are Zelkova that I grew from seed. And they're probably 8 years old, maybe 10 years old. They were grown on for a couple of years in 9cm pots and cut back until I decided one day to make a group out of them. I received this pot and thought, what can I put in it? This was a Christmas gift a couple of years ago, and there is a video of me putting the 5 trees together to make them into this group in the first place, available on the channel. There is a playlist following it along, which will be linked in the end screen and the description as usual, so you can go back and see earlier videos of this particular group, including its initial creation. So this is literally a kind of contour pruning, and the trees will get more of a structural prune in the winter. At the moment we've got some pieces down here which are obscuring some of the trunk line, which I would like to sort out. So this is the front of the group, and as you can see I've got a couple of branches down here which are growing back out and across those trunks, and what I want to do is keep that clear so that you can enjoy the 5 individual trees, and it may be that I'll need to do some more crown raising later in the season. So it's the 12th of July, which means it's just about a month since I last did any work with this group of Zelkova, and as you can see it's already putting out a lot of growth all over the shop, and so I'm just going to be giving it a chop back. At the moment this is my favoured front. You can see all 5 trunks quite clearly, although I may decide to do a bit of what on a full-scale tree would be called crown raising at some point, but that might be something I'll do in the winter when the tree is bare and it's easier to do the structural pruning when you can see what you're doing a little better. So this no real precision with this at the moment. I'm basically hoping to induce another flush of growth, keeping in bounds this sort of general outline of this grove of trees, and as I say, in the winter I will go in with a bit more detail and remove some of branches that are crossing, touching, growing in the wrong direction, etc. Bearing in mind this group has only been put together for a couple of years at most, not even that I don't think. It's not doing too badly. As I say, I'm just pruning to a rough outline. Unless I see something particularly obvious growing in the wrong direction, I'm not looking too much for that. And I can see a piece that's growing straight up through the middle there, for example. So take that piece out now. But unless it's so obvious, poking me in the eye, I'm not going to worry too much. As I say, I can do a better, more structural prune. Another piece growing straight up vertically. And there were several pieces emanating from one spot there. And that was too obvious to ignore. And again there. Okay, in fact, there are two pieces growing. That's better. So yeah, if it's obviously glaring, then it can come off, but there we go. And that's the back, which could also be a front, but that's quite nice if you've got a tree on a bench that you walk past on a regular basis and you can see both sides. It's always good to have a tree with dual fronts. Okay, I will put that back on the bench, and I'm not sure about this. This tree was possibly too big. Yeah, no it is, it's too tall. And so, quick before I change my mind, that's better. In fact, I might even come down a little further. That tree will have to grow a new apex now, but it's growing away quite vigorously, and there's plenty of time this season for it to do that. Okay, so it's the 22nd of August today, and the tree has been growing away like crazy, and much more on this side than on this side. For whatever reason, it seems this one particular quadrant, or maybe there's one particular tree, either didn't get as much light, or maybe this tree isn't as vigorous as the other four, but this tree has stayed much more compact. It's still healthy, still growing well, but hasn't put out these great long shoots. I probably should have got on with this a while ago. I didn't really want to do a lot of work on my trees during that particularly hot period of weather we've just had, in case the leaves beneath these then become scorched because they're not as hardy and have been sheltered a lot. So I kind of left the trees alone a bit during that hot period, but now I'm going to whip through this at high speed. Otherwise this video is going to get very long, very tedious, because I'm just doing the same job as I did in the last section. Okay, so there we have it. another trim. It may get one more before it loses its leaves. Then again, it may not. We'll just have to see how it responds this autumn. I'm going to finish up this particular video here. Perhaps over winter I may look at doing a bit of crown raising, just so that we can get a clearer view of those trunks in behind. It would be nice to have a better view, but we're beginning to get a nicely formed little canopy. So as always, thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Do all the YouTube things, the liking, the subscribing and the commenting. But most of all, stay safe everybody.